stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
And welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network, where you get the truth. Big jobs day today. 900,000 jobs. It's amazing. People, this is crazy. We had lost 22 million people. 22 million jobs. 6 million haven't come back to work. And when they do come back to work, remember, these are the same people that they lost their job. They were laid off because the economy was shut down. And now they're getting their job back. They should be counting from when the shutdown was. And then start adding every new job. As I say, that's like, here it is Friday. And let's say 24 employees go home from my company. And 24 come back. What are they going to say? We lost 24 people on Friday, and we came back, and now they're going to say, oh, what a good jobs number. Look at that. They increased by 24 jobs. No. These people had a job. They're just filling their job back in. They should be counting from where we were right before that pandemic hit in the 22 million. It's just crazy. Here's another thing. They make it sound like the economy is booming. Go ahead. I don't care. Let's just use that 900,000 jobs. When you're printing in the past 23 months to keep the economy propped up, $6 billion a day. Think about that. $6 billion a day they're printing to keep the economy propped up. It's mind-boggling. Think about how much $1 billion is. That's 1,000 million dollars equals 1 billion. Or let's say you're making $10 an hour. To earn 1 billion, you would have to work 12,500,000 days for 34,247 years to earn 1 billion. It's amazing to think about this. Every day, 23 months, 6.5 billion. Now let's think about from 1914 to 2014, during that 100-year period. The Federal Reserve printed $4 trillion. Now what do they print this money for? Because they go in and they buy from corporations their assets so they can have cash. But they need cash. They go to the banks and buy their mortgages, called mortgage-backed securities. They buy the mortgage and the security that you signed a note. They buy it from the bank, so now the bank can have more cash to operate with. They do it with banks, large corporations, and the United States government. That's right, because the government, remember, has been bankrupt since 1933. So they need cash. They're starving for cash. So they print all this money. Now, let's put this in perspective. Over 100 years, they only had to print $4 trillion to buy $4 trillion in assets from corporations, from the banks, from the government. And then what do they do with those assets? The Federal Reserve puts them on their balance sheet. That's 100 years. It took just 24 months to print another $4 trillion. So it took this, how bad the shape of this country is in. It took just 24 months to print $4 trillion against 100 years to print $4 trillion. You think something's amiss? It's unbelievable. They never bring this up. They never bring it up. And what does all that printing do? Inflation. It's all inflation. Which kills who? Not the rich. They love it. They make a fortune. All their assets inflate. They're fantastic homes. They have 2, 3, 4 homes around the country. They have artwork, diamonds, stamp collections, coin collections. You know all the assets they have. They love all this inflation. The guy on Main Street, he hasn't got any of that. He's getting crushed. Because what's happening, the dollars that he does have, it's costing him now a 40% increase to go buy coffee. It's costing him to go, I don't care what he does. The inflation is there. You got to pay more for your food, more for meat, for coffee, more for everything. But his wages haven't gone up because all this money printing does not go into the corporations to increase wages for them and their lifestyle. So they're getting screwed. When inflation takes the place of business investment, which that's what's going on, you're creating an illusion of growth, of prosperity. That's what they've been doing. It's unbelievable. Like the first 2 quarters of this year. Think about all the stimulus checks and the enhanced unemployment checks, where people got their $300 from the state unemployment, then they got another $300 check from the $300 from the federal government. That's what. That's not growing the economy. All these checks, all this money, paying people's rent for them, their utilities, their back payments. You don't have an economy that's growing. You got to have business investment, but we're not doing that. There's no business investment. What CEO would take money and invest it in his business? He's going to buy his own stock, push his stock up. And when the economy is doing poorly, the last thing you want the Federal Reserve to do, and remember, this Federal Reserve, like the government, are stupid. They're stupid. They do nothing well. They do nothing well. They can't manage anything. For them to go in and print all this money in an economy that's doing poorly, that's the last thing the Federal Reserve should be doing, is printing all this money to increase the money supply. So now you got consumers getting more money printed thrown at them, and they're going out and purchasing fewer goods because everybody's laid off, disturbed the supply chain, and now they can't produce goods. So now that's where the inflation's coming from. The Federal Reserve is doing everything to hurt Main Street to help Wall Street. But Main Street doesn't feel it yet. Because what are they going to get? Well, look what they're going to get from Bernie Sanders. The Bernie Sanders plan. My Lord, he wants to give them everything free. Free college, free everything. He wants to give them a guaranteed $12,000 a year whether you work or not. Still pay their utilities, pay their back rent. Are you kidding? The last thing you want to do, because here's what's happening, and nobody wants to talk about it. Because what's happening is everything is peaking. Everything is peaking. When everything peaks, when you're at a peak, and that peak can't be reached again within 3 months, every time the market has crashed. Every time the market has crashed. The consequences are severe in what they're doing, creating an illusion. Everything's wonderful. And when I heard these job numbers today, I just said, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding. More when I get back, and how do we make money in this environment so that you can retire with the same lifestyle you have while you're working? I'll tell you about that when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable. African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women. Breast cancer is unacceptable. Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half. And we're going to do it by 2026. Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gangs. 900,000 new jobs. They're not new. Remember, they shut the economy down. They shut it down. Go home. We're shutting the economy down. We're shutting your restaurant down. Go home. Okay, now we're opening up the economy. Come back. How is that a new job? That's not a new job. You create new jobs through business investment. There's no business investment. We've been creating an illusion of business investment. All we're doing is printing and printing and printing money. I just gave you an example. Can you imagine? In 23 months, the Federal Reserve printed the same amount that it took 100 years. Or I should put it this way here. Sorry, put it this way here. They put on their balance sheet what took 100 years. They did the same in 23 months. That's telling you there is a problem. Now let's talk about if all you did was just stayed with the S&P. Now my members, we tell them this all the time. If they just stayed with the S&P 500, because the S&P 500 is the best thing to be in. Why? Because the S&P has the 500 best companies. 26% of the companies in the S&P are your Microsoft, your Apple, your Facebook, your Google, Amazon, Netflix, and they drive the entire S&P 500. If you took them out, the S&P would collapse. That's what drives it. And they've been driving it since 2008, but really been driving since 2013. If you were in that rather than in your 401k where you're getting 27 hidden fees, when you retire, all of a sudden you're going to find out that 33% of the money you thought you should have, you don't have. They're taking it for fees. That's right. They're stealing from you. If you just put your money in the spiders, and another thing, when the market does go down, you make money on the way down. You can't do that with your 401k. Now, I told you also last week, remember I kept saying for 3 weeks, I kept saying, do not buy the tech stocks. They're going to start changing. They're going to shift. Here, I'll play a cut, what I said. Exactly what I said. Let's see. Here we go. Be careful buying these tech stocks. We have what I call the tourist investor. Who's that? Those are the Robin Hood investors. People don't know what they're doing. Okay, they have no clue. They don't know the difference between a yield and a banana peel. They have no idea what's going on. And all they know is they keep listening to the people, the folks on a fake business network, buy the tech, and a pullback, buy Facebook, buy Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, keep buying those on the pullback. But that's not what the yield is telling us. We're starting to see now that there is going to be a switch in leadership. I believe the leadership is going to be the banks. I believe you're going to start seeing the yields start climbing, which is a favorable environment for the banks, and the banks are going to take the leadership. So stop listening to these fake business news guys. They don't know what they do know what they're talking about. They're trying to get you to buy tech. So they're doing everything they can to push you into tech. But the yields are never wrong. They always tell the truth. Keep your eye on the banks. They're going to take the leadership. And guess what? They took the leadership today. I was exactly right, 100% right. Because why? Because I told everybody, watch the Qs. What are the Qs? The 100 best tech stocks, right? And I said, you watch the Qs. Because first of all, the volume on the Qs, the energy as we call it, volume, is terrible. It's going down. So while they're pushing up the Qs, the energy or volume is decelerating. That's a very bad sign. I said to you many, many times, starting back on July 14th, I said, if the Qs can't get above 365 and hold with good volume, then they're going to switch to the banks. They're going to switch to the banks. And if the yields start going up, as long as the yields staying at 118, as long as the yields are below 120, then they'll stay with the big tech. But when those yields start moving up, they're going to switch to the banks. And I said, what we're seeing is this terrible volume. And so what happened is they kept pushing up the Qs, that they just got them up just a little ways above that 365. And now they're at 367. And I said, look, the volume is so bad. You can't buy your Microsoft and you can't buy your Apple. You can't add to them until the Qs break out through 370. You got to wait. So guess what happened? So anybody who bought Microsoft, you're not very happy today, are you? No. Because, first of all, you didn't listen. I told you. And even I told you right here, if you weren't gang members, you didn't listen. I said, wait till they punch out through 370, then go ahead and buy Microsoft if Microsoft makes a new high above around 290. It didn't happen. And so a lot of people bought those. And they said the same thing with Apple. I said, same thing with Apple. Unless those Qs can punch out and get above that 370, do not buy Apple. Apple's got to get above 150. Today it's 145. Why? Because guess what's going on? I was right. The yields are going back up. They're pushing them back up. Who's pushing back? The Federal Reserve. They control it. Remember, the Federal Reserve, our owners, control everything. They decide what's going to move. All you got to know is someone's got to help you to tell you, like I do my members, like I just said to you, when do you get into the techs? When do you get into the banks? And we told them yesterday again, wait, they're going to take the banks. And guess what happened today? The banks all are going up because the yields are all going up. Explain more when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
I signed up, and I've learned an incredible amount from Phil and Steve. The staff at Phil's Gang gives platinum level service and stock recommendations. You know, it's as simple as that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
The unfolding of a market crash. If you don't think the stock market's going to crash, then you got to be nuts. This is going to be one of the biggest crashes ever. Just because they're stimulating the economy, they're plugging money in, keep driving up the debt. No, the market is going to crash. I bring you evidence every Friday on my YouTube channel. I review the week and tell you why we're getting closer to crash, so don't miss it. It's free for everyone. Go to my YouTube channel, Phil's Gang YouTube channel. That's right, and I'll be posting the YouTube channel, and I'm going to be explaining the evidence that we got this week is very strong. You got to stop listening to this garbage. The economy's great, the economy's great. The economy is not great. An economy is great when there's business investment, when we take money and the companies take money and take their earnings, take their profits, borrow money from banks, combine it, and plow it back into their company with new machinery, new equipment. Then you get to produce more products. And when you're producing more products, you're going to get a wage increase. And with that wage increase, you're going to be able to invest. You're going to be able to save. With that wage increase, you spend. And spending is 72% of our economic GDP growth. Our economy is not growing because of that. These businesses aren't putting any money back in. Why would they put any money back in? When the Federal Reserve is turning around and printing $400 million a day to keep the economy going, to push stocks up. Enjoy the ride. We do. We do. We know it's all phony, but we don't stop investing. We just make sure our members get out in time, and they will get out in time. 85% of you are not going to get out in time. It's just like this stupid, we had 900,000 jobs, new jobs. No, you didn't have 900,000 new jobs. If you were working at a restaurant and 25 people, and they shut down the restaurant because they shut down the economy, and then they reopen the economy, and they say, okay, you can come back to work. Is that a new job? No, they're creating an illusion. They're creating an illusion. Those aren't new jobs. Unbelievable. Just like they're creating an illusion that we got this great economy and then we got this great growth. No. Business investment is not an illusion. What they're doing now with all this inflation, they're printing this, they're causing this inflation. But here's what nobody wants to talk about. And I'm going to show this tonight, and it's free for everybody. Don't have to be a gang member. I'm going to prove to you, and this is probably the most important piece of evidence I have, that we are going to have this market. Look, there's no question the market's not going to crash. Of course it's going to crash. Why would we be so lucky to think it's not going to crash when it crashed in 1987, crashed in 2008, we crashed with the dot-com, crashed with the housing finance crashed in 2020, right? February 2020. And that wasn't because of the pandemic. It was because the shadow banks froze up. The junk bonds froze up. What's that mean? That means that businesses are in deep trouble. Corporations are in deep trouble. They've never had so much debt. And so when they couldn't go and borrow money by selling bonds to the junk bond industry for cash, and then they couldn't go and borrow money from the shadow banks, they froze up. That's why we dropped 31%. That's why we dropped 31%. It wasn't the pandemic. It wasn't the COVID-19. That's not why. It was, yeah, sure, it contributed. It was like a cherry on top of an ice cream sundae. But listen, this whole rally, if you got in the rally back in March of 2020, our members who were in the S&P went up 113%. Now, I'm not saying every member got 113% return. I'm not saying that. Same thing. When we're still in target. From the time it turned green on our color-coded chart that tells you call to action, it went from red to green. It tells you when the institutions are buying it. That's what you got to know. When are the institutions buying? You don't need you don't care when Kramer buys it. You don't care when any of these dopes on CNBC buys it. What do you care? They're not going to tell you the truth. When you see it go from red to green, it's telling you the institutions. It's telling you the biggest hedge funds, the biggest insurance companies, the biggest banks on Wall Street are buying Target. So it went up from where it is green to right now, it's up 45%. Now, I'm not saying every gang member caught all 45%. Some did. Some caught 10%. Some caught 20%. It's up to them when they want to get in. But it identifies the profit. Every stock is like a business. Every stock has a profit center. And the profit center on Target was 45%. And we keep trying to teach our members, the fewer stocks you stay with, the more money you're going to buy. When you start looking at too many stocks, you never catch the sweet spot of the stock. We point out on every stock where the sweet spot is. That's where you have the highest probability of making money. But if you're looking at too many stocks, and you're always listening to the hot stock of the day, you're never going to make money. You're never going to make money. You got to stay with the most popular stocks that the 401ks buy, the hedge funds buy, the big banks buy, all the big businesses buy. You got to stay with the most popular stocks. So when it turns from red to green, it tells you that they're buying. And even better, the chart tells you when it's red, it'll start turning yellow first. It gives you a warning, gives you a heads up. Say, wait a minute, okay, they're pulling their money out. But now they're pulling out less money. So you get a call to action. Then it turns green. And then we let you know. We're right there every day. And every day we take our portfolio and we tell you exactly what to do with our portfolio stocks. Steve, every day at 2 o'clock, post. And he tells you every day with a post what to do. Listen, like today, he posted Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs, you can add to your long position today. It broke out nicely, nice engulfing.
And then he explains why you're buying it. Then he explains when you should get out of it. He explains when you should take profits. He explains when you shouldn't take profits, when you should add to it. Does anybody do that for you? No. But here's the thing that you're going to learn tonight if you go to my site, my YouTube channel. Nobody talks about this. Before every crash, we have a tremendous... Remember, the beautiful thing about the stock market charting, it sends you messages. You get messages from the market. Yes, you do. I mean, it doesn't call me on the phone and say hello, but you do get messages from the market. So let's go back to manufacturing. When did manufacturing peak? Do you know? Most people don't even know. They're not going to tell you. You think CNBC is going to tell you? You think Fox Business is going to tell you? They don't want you to know. Manufacturing peaked in March of this year. You know when new orders peaked? Manufacturing new orders peaked in May. This is August. It peaked. Manufacturing peaked and new orders peaked. One in March was manufacturing. Our manufacturing new orders peaked in May. Production peaked in April. We're in August. Employment. This is the important one, not those stupid 900,000 jobs, those stupid jobs. Employment peaked. This is the truth right here. Peaked in April. So you got manufacturing peaked in March. You got new orders peaking in May. You got production in April, and you have employment peaked in April. What's that mean? It always, go look it up. If it can't get to a new peak by 3 to 6 months the latest, if it doesn't peak again within we already passed the 3 months. If it doesn't peak again within 6 months, the market always crashes. It always crashes between 3 and 6 months from the time it peaks. That's right. And it's peaked, and that's why they don't want you to know about it. That's why. Do you really think, for heaven's sakes, this is crazy. Look, do you really think they're printing all this money because the economy is good? Do you really think, for heaven's sakes, Powell? Listen to what Powell's saying. If you can figure it out, I can't.
Inflation has increased notably and will likely remain elevated in coming months before moderating. Supply bottlenecks in some sectors have limited how quickly production can respond in the near term. But as these transitory supply effects abate, inflation is expected to drop back toward our longer run.
Is he nuts? A jibber jabber. Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color-coded technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market is still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know the biggest danger? People have gotten so complacent now in this market. And this is what happens. You have never heard CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg once call a crash or anticipate a crash. When they crashes, they bring the same people on who are telling you to keep buy, bring the same people on. Now they're experts in why it went and crashed. That makes me so sick to my stomach. They're now the experts why they bring it on. We have Joe Suckface. He manages $5 trillion. Joe, why do you think the market went down, Joe Suckface? Well, I kept saying, he said nothing. They're all phonies. The market sends you messages. One of the biggest messages are your yields. Trust me when I tell you. You can trust the yield. Larry Kudlow got fired. He got fired from CNBC and his other show because he kept telling everybody, don't pay attention to the yields. Don't pay attention to the yields. Remember when the housing market was getting ready to crash? He said, I see nothing. He says, I see nothing wrong. I don't see any housing problems. Don't pay attention to the yields. Right? What happened? It crashed. People lost a fortune listening to him. The yields tell you everything. Now, do they manipulate the yields? Sure they do. Of course they manipulate the yields. And that's why you need somebody helping you. Do you really believe when you sit there and you watch CNBC or any of those fake business networks, you really think you're going to gain something? All the news they're giving you is old news. The market's looking forward. So, example, and you heard me tell you over and over, don't buy the big tech right now. They're going to switch to the bank stocks, and now the bank stocks are on their own. Matter of fact, Wells Fargo, we had them last week put what we call in a scout on Wells Fargo because it was setting up beautiful, and she broke out beautiful today. All our banks are breaking out, but it's one day. One day doesn't make a trend. But we'll guide our members through this. But here's the other thing we're working on that nobody else is working on. We're working on stocks that nobody wants. That's right. Our COVID stocks, we call them. We're going to catch Southwest Airlines. We're going to catch the cruise lines, Carnival Cruise Line. We're going to catch Alaskan Air. We're going to catch Las Vegas Sands. These are all beaten down. We shorted all these stocks. For example, if you take Las Vegas Sands, we started to short Las Vegas Sands at I think it was right around $59, and then we got out around $47. I think it was around 47. We had a nice short on that, and that's probably that's a 20% return. Now, I'm not saying every gang member made 20%, but they had the opportunity to make more. See, every stock is an opportunity. Every stock is a profit center. And when it changes its color to tell you when to buy, when to sell, it's up to you. When do you want to get in? If it's red and it's going down, decide if you get in early, you're going to make more. If you get in later, you're going to make less. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're making 5% every time you're in a stock where it's going up and down, as long as you make 5% every month, that's a huge return at the end of the year, just 5%. Right, but I'm running out of time. I wanted to do, yesterday I was really upset, and I don't want you to take this wrong, but I was really upset when I was listening to Joe Biden. Here, let me play this.
My fellow Americans, the tragedy of that day deserves the truth above all else. We cannot allow history to be rewritten. We cannot allow the heroism of these officers to be forgotten. We have to understand what happened.
Why are you letting this happen? Why haven't you called for backup? Where is your backup? This is our damn Capitol building, and y'all are letting it get destroyed on your watch.
That's right. Many of them were, and here's the point, I'm not going to criticize them. That was when a guy was yelling at them. They're all standing there, the Capitol Police, and they weren't doing a thing. Well, one reason, their shields, they got these old shields, okay? The ammunition for their guns didn't work. That's right. The ammo in their guns weren't working. The ammo was all wrong. Their shields were all screwed up. They weren't participating. And it wasn't their responsibility to bring on other people. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not here to beat on them. But what made me sick when I'm listening to Biden, and here's some more Biden.
But I know receiving this award is bittersweet. On that day, more than 140 law enforcement officers suffered physical injuries, an untold number suffering emotional toll. 15 of you were hospitalized, and others were lost forever.
You think he was talking about, for heaven's sakes, you think he was talking about Pork Chop Hill. You think he was talking about Hamburger Hill. Now, I'm not being cute. Let's talk about Pork Chop Hill, not Capitol Hill. April 1953, 1,000 of our boys got killed and wounded. In Nam, Hamburger Hill, May 10th to the 20th, a ridiculous battle. 1969, 125 were killed, 400 were injured. You can't compare Capitol Hill to Pork Chop Hill or Hamburger Hill. What about, not every veteran got a medal, especially the ones who were killed. The ones that survived, they didn't get a medal. Shouldn't they all get a medal? Do you think they're under the stress? The people at the Capitol Hill, they're under stress that these poor guys were? Especially on Pork Chop Hill? Give me a break. And he says, they keep saying 5 died. Here's the record. And this is not my record. This is the record according to the Washington, D.C. District Chief Medical Examiner. And he gave everybody the straight story. Officer Brian Sicknick, he died of natural causes. The other person that died, was from natural causes also. He had heart disease. He was going to drop any time. I know about heart disease. I had to get 5 stents. And thank God, I went to on time, or I would have died. Another one who died, out of the 4 they're talking about, OD'd by accident from acute intoxication. So he's using these people. I'll guarantee you talk to any of those gentlemen, any of those police officers. They're not going to consider themselves a hero. I mean, people who get the Bronze Star, Silver Star, Medal of Honor, they don't consider themselves heroes. I bet most of them were embarrassed. They were using them. They may be mad, but it's just how I feel. I saw that. I felt bad for the officers. They're being used by Nancy Pelosi. They're all being used. It's all to push against how bad a man Trump is. It has nothing to do with Trump. They're using these guys. And they're embellishing. The embellishing just gets me when they're trying to compare this to, like, Capitol Hill, to Pork Chop Hill, to Hamburger Hill. Give me a break. And I'll bet you those officers who work for the Capitol, I bet they were embarrassed. They didn't want anything to do with it, getting these gold medals. When they know people in Nam, Korea, they didn't get any medals. Most of them didn't get medals. They were real heroes. Anyways, I never talk politics, but I had to say something on that. You're probably mad at me, but that's how I feel. Okay, listen. Please remember what I'm telling you. Big money is going to be made in the airlines, in the cruise lines, okay, in the casinos, called the COVID stocks. It may start a month from now, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, but we're going to catch them. I remember one time we started with oil. It took almost 4 months, and we got something like a 60 to 80% return. We did the same thing with gold. Same thing. You have to start early. Watch them. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. Go to where it says Working Investor Group. And go to my YouTube channel tonight for my take on the unfolding of the stock market crash. Hey, we'll see you on the charts. Have a great weekend.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make